Hello everyone and welcome to another class of VPC components. Today in this class we will discuss the next component of virtual private cloud, which is security group. So what is a security group? We can say that security group is a virtual firewall that controls all inbound and outbound network traffic to AWS resources and EC2 instances. That means whenever we require to launch an instance, we must specify that instance with the security group. Suppose if security group is not specified at the launch, then the instance will be launched in a default security group for the virtual private cloud. That means it controls all inbound and outbound network traffic. And we require to specify security group with each and every instance. So we have a default security group which allows communication between all resources in our security group. It allows all outbound traffic and denies all the other traffic. Now this is a rule. That means you can allow outbound traffic and you have to deny all other traffic. So user may change the rules for the default security group also. But the user cannot delete the default security group. So let's see example, like we have a security group rule. If we say this is inbound, so we have a source, example, a protocol, port range. It requires to allow inbound traffic from an instance within the same security group. So this is a rule that has been defined for a group. Next, for a outbound, this is a destination protocol, and it has to, in comments, it has to allow all outbound call. So suppose from a web server, this is the destination, public IP range, what is the protocol, port range. It allow all inbound from the internet to port 80 and then allow SSH traffic from your company's network. So this is also an example of a destination. So we can see that how the group rule are specified. Suppose the ID of the security group for your database, so port range and a protocol. So allow all outbound MySQL access for these instances. This is for outbound. So these are the examples that how we can specify some rule with the security group. Now as we know that all Amazon EC2 instances must be launched into a security group. So we can create up to 500 security groups for each virtual private cloud. That means for each virtual private cloud there we can create, or user can create up to 500 groups. Now we can add 50 inbound and 50 outbound rules, as we have seen that we can create 50 inbound and 50 outbound rules to each security group. Now user can specify rules but do not deny rules. This is an important difference between the security group and access control list, that here we can specify allow rules but deny rules it can't. So user can specify separate rules for inbound and outbound traffic, as we have seen in the examples that we have specified a different rule for inbound and outbounds. So security group, that means by default, the default security group, no inbound traffic is allowed until user and inbound rules apply to the security group. Security groups are stateful. Now what does it mean, stateful? This means that responses to allowed inbound traffic are allowed to flow outbound regardless of outbound rules. That means we have allowed inbound traffic and outbound rules and vice versa. So security groups are stateful. Next, instances associated with same security group cannot talk to each other until and unless we add rules to allow that they can communicate with one another. So Today in this class we have discussed about next VPC components. As we know what are the VPC components, like we have route table, DHCP option sets and security groups. So we have discussed about security groups in today's class. Thank you so much.